I usually like to start my performances with a little bit about me, just so that we can all get to know each other. So my name's Dave. I'll be 31 in 5 years. I have a fun ability where I can never tell if the lights are flickering or if I'm just really, really good at blinking. It's usually tossed up between the two. I'm not the smartest guy. I often get things confused with one another. For example, I often mix up the terms gigolo and juggalo, which probably explains why I keep hanging clowns for sex. One time back in high school, I was playing Truth or Dare with some people, and I got dared to leave. That was fun. It's going to get worse. And I'm very mentally ill. I am. I was going to kill myself, but then I realized, wait a minute, I'm 26. And I kind of feel like killing yourself at 26 is like dropping out of college when you only have one semester left. You have the credits. I tell people how I feel. They always give me the same advice. They say, "Hey, Dave, hang tight, man. Hang tight." I'm like, I get it. It comes from a point of sincerity, but hanging tight has got to be the worst advice to give a suicidal person. That's what I'm trying to do. That's why we're having these discussions. Man. All right. A lot of, you guys are a cool crowd. A lot of people don't like suicide jokes. I totally get it, so we'll mix it up. How about that whole Will Smith, Chris Rock beef? Crazy. It's not really relevant anymore, is it? But my buddy, when it happened, he asked me, he said, "Dave, how do you feel about this, man?" Like, he asked me, he said, "Dave, you do stand-up." I said, "First of all, no, I don't. I do therapy with friends." But he asked me, "All right, well, if you did do stand-up, how would you feel? How would you feel about this, if somebody doesn't like what a comedian says, they can come up, run up on him, hit him, yell at him, whatever." I said, first of all, that already happens. And secondly, the only person I ever make fun of is myself. So I'm not afraid. Right? The only person I could ever see getting annoyed at my comedy is my mom, which I am the guy who keeps trying to kill her son. So I get it. I get why she'd be upset. Hi, Mom. I've been trying
It got funnier.
I've been her son for 26 years. She gets it. She knows what I'm about. I've been trying to hone into some interests of mine to try to help my mental state. For example, last summer I got super into sunbathing. So if anyone here has a son,
You got me with that one.
That's awesome. They pulled it.
I also started going to Al-Anon, which, for those who don't know, it's a support group for adult people that grew up with an alcoholic parent. Not her, she was good. And they had us, it was cool, but I thought it was kind of odd because they had us in a circle reading excerpts from the Bible, which I thought was odd because here you have a room full of people with massive amounts of trauma associated with alcohol and drunk people. In the book you picked for us to read, the main character is like the drunkest dude ever. That would be like having support group at temple and saying, "All right, guys, 10 today's meeting, we're going to read a few excerpts from Mein Kampf." I told my mom that joke because she's the only one that will listen to me. And she said, "Dave, you can't say that Jesus was a drunk. You can't do that. You can't say that." And I said, "Well, I just did." But I said, it kind of was, though. If 2,000 years later people use red wine as a metaphor for your blood, I feel like that says a lot about you. If anyone, you guys seem on board, but if anyone hypothetically isn't on board, I've got some evidence that might sway your opinion. When you think drunk person, what's the first thing that comes to your mind, besides my dad? I know for me, it looks like a frat dude, a frat bro, a frat guy, right? And like, have you guys read the Bible recently? It is multiple stories of Jesus and his 12 homies walking through the park talking about, do you even know who my freaking dad is, bro? That's frat boy behavior. That's straight out of Arizona State. Somebody recently asked me, what's God's position in my life? And I had to think about it. They're like, hey, son, dad? No. What's God's position in your life? Probably middle linebacker. Because, like, every time I get going, he's always there to take me out. You guys heard me talk about my old man. We don't get along. He's not a good person, honestly. He kind of fucking sucks. We only have one thing in common, and that's the fact that we could both never play tennis for different reasons. I can't play tennis because I don't do very well with blame, and whenever I try to play, someone's always telling me that I'm at fault. And my dad can't play tennis because it involves love. Not really for him. He's more of a golf guy, because golf is a sport that consists of repeatedly hitting something and then watching it leave you. But not only watching it leave, being confused as to why it didn't go where you wanted it to.
Damn.
Oh my god.
Who here thinks Russian nesting dolls are way too fucking full of themselves?
Why does it stop? So the fun.
My friend once told me to take a bullet
These are
for me,
great.
so I shot him.
I recovered from one.
I'm just joking for legal reasons. I moved recently from a townhouse to an apartment, so obviously you guys know how apartments work, they're smaller. And you hear more stuff, like footsteps, whatever. I was sitting in my room the other day, and I heard a, it's like, oh, god damn, somebody's getting it. Hey, I don't judge, I'm fucking go for it. But then I kept hearing it, and I heard it moving to where it was outside of my window. And I'm hearing outside my window. So I'm thinking, okay, just to see, not for any other reason, just because I want to know, I gotta see what's out there. So I whip open the blinds, and instead of two people fucking, I see the biggest fucking cat I've ever seen in my life spin around, look at me directly in the eyes, go, So instead of two people fucking, I found a cat with the most unfortunate meow ever. So naturally, I put my dick away. I go out and meet the cat. I bring its collar, I call the number on it. I say, hey, your cat's out here making everyone horny. And the woman answers, she's like, oh my god, I'll be home in 20 minutes. Would you mind just hanging out with him for a little while? I can't believe you got out, whatever. And I was like, yeah, of course. So the cat didn't have a name on it. So I thought it'd be rude if I just called it Cat. So I'm thinking, okay, what's a name I can give to this cat? So I observed its characteristics. And I decided to call it Dad. Because because it acted a lot like my dad. The fact that it ignored me, the fact that it walked into my room unprompted, threw up, and left. Total dad move. The fact that it bullied my sister into taking $300 out of her bank account and spent it on gambling. It's a rascally little cat. So naturally, the person comes, picks up dad, leaves. So second time, dad is left me. And it got me thinking. I was like, man, I kind of like hanging out with a cat. I started thinking maybe I should get my own cat. I did some research and it led me down this rabbit hole of really niche cat-related stuff. And they have Ancestry.com for your cat. You can pay money, send your cat's DNA in, and it'll tell you your cat's lineage or some bullshit. And I was like, I gotta know this. I gotta know what people think of this. So I was looking at the reviews. 5 stars. Love this service. We found out our little Malcolm was 100% domestic American. I was like, cool. So you pay $200 for them to tell your cat is made out of cat. Awesome. You guys have been great. I'll leave with one more. I got one more joke. We got a lot of problems, obviously. You guys know this. Our society, our world's been crazy. I find it very important to hone in on stuff that's not that bad and like really sort it out so then we can focus on the issues that are actually terrible. For example, I think right here, right now, we can clear up the whole flat Earth debate, right? And I have definitive evidence as to why the Earth is not flat and it is in fact round. So walk with me on this, right? Earth, our Earth, Mother Earth is what we call it. She gave birth to us, having sex with one man, multiple men. Who's to say? I don't judge. I don't care. But you can't tell me Mama's getting fucked 7 million times with a flat ass, dude. She's got to be round. She's got to be curvy. That's everything I got. Thank you guys so much.